Good day everyone. First of all, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jiang Zhenghong. You can call my English name Jay. My MAC number is 2312565. Today I'm going to present about firm-specific and microeconomics determinants of liquidity risk in Valero Energy Corporation. The first part, overview of Valero Energy Corporation. Valero was created on January 1, 1980 as a spin-off Coastal States Gas Corporation. Nowadays, Valero Energy Corporation is an international manufacturer and marketer that doing business of transportation, fuels, and other petrochemical products. Problem statement. Problem statement in this study will be profitability is the most important thing to know the position of a company, whether it can make profit or not. The company's value can be determined by its profitability because profitability shows how efficient the company manages its resources to generate the profit. Research questions. There are two research questions in this study, which are: is there a significant influence of firm-specific risk on profitability? And is there a significant influence of microeconomics risk on profitability? Research objectives. There are still two. The first one, to investigate the firm-specific factors towards profitability, and investigate the microeconomic factors towards profitability. The scope of the study. The sample of the study consists of one selected company in US, which is Valero Energy Corporation. The accounting and financial ratio was based on the company's annual report, which is from 2013 to 2017. Current ratio. In this study, current ratio is used to represent the liquidity risk when investors, corporations, or financial institutions fail to fulfill their short-term debit obligations. Liquidity risk happen. The current ratio, the formula is current assets over current liabilities. And the methodology, there are three methodologies we use in this study. The first one is multiple regression analysis. The second one, ordinary least squares regression. The last one, IBM SPSS 24. And coefficients table. The coefficients table will show us about the most significant IV that influenced the DV. Based on the use of coefficients, the independent variables, which is current ratio, debit to income ratio, GDP, inflation rate, that has influence on the ROA or profitability of the Valero Energy Corporation. Correlation table. From the correlation table, based on the table, debit to income ratio has a very high negative correlation to profitability with p-value of minus 0.989. It means that the higher the debit to income ratio, the lower the profitability of the company. The current ratio has a moderate positive correlation to profitability with p-value of 0.512. It means that when current ratio increases, profitability also will increase. Inflation rate is moderate significant with a negative correlation with p-value of minus 0.628. It means that if inflation rate higher, profitability will become lower. From the table, model summary. Model summary, according to the table, the adjusted R square is 97.2%. This means that the variables used in the model to explain the changes in the profitability of Valero Energy Corporation, 97.2% include the remaining 2.8% adjusted R square is still unknown. This means that the remaining 2.8% of the adjusted R square shows that the performance of Valero Energy Corporation cannot be explained by doing this study. That provides researchers with an opportunity for future research about the unknowns. Another part. From the ANOVA table, significant value is recorded as 0.001. The p-value of the model is especially significant since the p-value is less than 0. And for the conclusion part, this study was to determine the profitability of Federal Energy Corporation, the factors affecting its performance. In order to achieve this goal, this study adopts enterprise-specific factors, which are credit risk, liquidity risk, and microeconomic factors, which are market risk, inflation, and gross domestic product. And the last part is recommendations. Based on this study, among all the independent variables, debit to income ratio has high significance to ROA or profitability. So it is important for the company to manage its debit to income to increase its profitability. In conclusion, there is a significant correlation between internal factors and some of the microeconomic factors to profitability. Thank you. That's all for my part.